Insomniac and welcome to my channel. It's Wednesday the 17th of August 2022 and it's a little part, well, just gone 3:30. Not much has really happened. Still tired a lot of the time, all the time mostly. Had the blood test today. I was told that was for folate, B12 and intrinsic factor or intrinsic factor antibodies, I'm not sure which. So those results should be back, they said Monday at the latest, and if it isn't back sort of then, sorry, something's just popped up, and if it isn't back by then, to give them a call and they can chase it. So I'll probably wait until Monday afternoon before chasing anything if I have to. Yeah, not much else. Yeah, that's the only appointment I've had. Still got cardiology coming up next month. That's it for appointments, so that's good. It's a lot quieter. The carpal tunnel thing, they did say they'd write to my GP. I haven't had a letter to say that they've done that yet, so I don't know if they have, or sorry. And I haven't checked, actually, I haven't checked patient access to see if the GP's received anything that I haven't. I'll probably do that within the next week. Yeah, I'm really sorry, I haven't anything to really say. Again, it was a lot to come on today as well. I just feel like sleeping an awful lot of the time. And that's the thing, at one point I was able to have little naps, like say, I don't know, like an hour or whatever. Now if I do nap, it's like literally 10-20 minutes, and that's after what, 40 minutes or an hour of trying. So I'm not getting much, I feel, restorative sleep. So I just feel just as tired as before I go to bed. It's like the tiredness just doesn't go. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to keep today's video quite short, I'm afraid. Sorry. Hopefully the folic acid tablets will start kicking in soon, and it will help with the lack of energy, hopefully. The numbness isn't as bad on this arm as before. It's still there, but less. So that's an improvement. So I'm glad about that, because that was worrying me quite a bit. Yeah, and just basically I'm just trying to get things in line for my daughter at the moment, like for college, so make sure everything's in place for her. Health-wise, still taking the folate. I'm literally only on that. They did change my stomach acid tablet because the omeprazole had stopped working back in, I don't even know, October, November time last year. Gaviscon doesn't work at all. So then they changed me to, what did they change me to? They changed me to something else, and that one was only working for a few hours at a time, and that was it. And then they changed that to twice a day instead of once a day. Still the same. And then they've got me now on something esomeprazole or something. That one has actually kept the stomach acid at bay, so, well, the excess stomach acid at bay, so that's really good. So at least that's one less thing I have to worry about day to day. Stomach acid isn't very nice. Like, when you've got way too much of it, it's just, it's painful, uncomfortable, and you can't sleep as well with it. So, yeah. Really sorry. Like, my brain's just not quite there. I'm just so tired. I don't think there's anything else today. I'm really sorry to do such a short video. Like I said, it was really difficult to get on at all. As far as the bipolar is concerned, the psychiatrist isn't happy to put me on a mood stabilizer unless cardiology comes back okay. And even then, I don't think he's sort of sold on the idea of putting me on a mood stabilizer. But that's the thing I don't understand. Like, they're reluctant to put me on one, but I was on a mood stabilizer for like 5 years, and then they take me off of it, and then like they don't want to put me back on it again. Like, I don't understand. So we'll just see. Hopefully my mood doesn't dip much lower. It's not ridiculously low or anything. It's not like that. It's just like mild depression, I'd say, possibly. Yeah. I just, no energy, no get up and go, no. But then again, that could all be medical and not related. See, the thing is, if your mood's low, it can affect other things, and then if you're ill, that can make your mood low. So I know it would be low anyway because of coming out of like a rapid cycling thing that I had for months and months on end. So obviously I'd be low for at least, 4 or 5 months until I kind of level off a little bit better. And I never level off perfectly, but I don't even know. Just hoping that I won't end up needing a mood stabilizer, and because they don't put me on one, that I end up getting really depressed or something. That I'm really hoping that doesn't happen, because I've been asking to go on a mood stabilizer, oh my god, since what, January time? And then obviously I was struggling to get an appointment, and then 2 appointments at least were cancelled on their end with me, and I moved 2 as well because I was waiting to see endocrinology before, so I'd be armed with, I'd be armed with information. So I'd say if there was a diagnosis that I was given, I could say, right, well, I've been told this, or I've got to avoid that, or whatever, like in case there was anything that interfered with prescribing. Yes, the only thing holding back at the moment is the cardiology appointment. Yeah, and then after that, hopefully it will be getting close to the end and having some form of a diagnosis. I'm still waiting, unrelated, not completely, off topic though. I did a 23andMe. This was back in April. I actually sent off for that because it was on some kind of deal where, I think it was like Mother's Day or something. I got it near, was it Father's Day was Ancestry, so Mother's Day I think it was close to, yeah, or was it? Yeah, it must have been, yeah, Mother's Day. So I ended up, which is in March time in England, so I ended up doing it then, sending it off in sort of March, April time, I think April, and then, yeah, the first swab that I did, it failed, so they had to send me out another one, so I should have those results back within the next couple of weeks, so that will be good, and then I can just see I don't think you can use it diagnostically. I mean, if it says a predisposition for this and I've got symptoms of it, then it's worth the doctors looking into, I suppose. Sorry, that was a hiccup. Like, I haven't been drinking or anything. Yeah. My brain's just totally not with me today. I so need to sleep, and I just want to be able to rest after restful, like energized, like after a nap or a sleep or whatever. And I just don't. It's getting beyond a joke now, to be completely fair. I'm getting really fed up with it. There's only so long you can go before you start to sort of feel sorry for yourself, where sorry, my brain's just not with me today. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out. I think I might even try to catch a little nap maybe. Or at least, hopefully, if I don't nap, I can do what I usually do and like just get like 20 minutes here, like just closing my eyes and like gaining a little bit of energy that way, just by resting. Yeah, but the only thing is, when you rest, it's really difficult, like, to stop your brain racing. Because that's the thing I find. If the room's, let's say if my room, I've got one of my fans off at the moment. I've only got the air purifier on, and that doesn't make much noise. I don't know if you can hear it. But the fan is off, and with the fan off, it's like the room is so, that to me, really quiet. So, and when the room's really quiet, that starts making my brain race. So that's another reason why I sleep with fans and things on, not just for the white noise to sleep, but also so that it sort of stops my mind being too quiet, where it will start thinking of things. So yeah, I was actually saying to somebody was saying something about, there's this room somewhere that's like the quietest room in the whole wide world or something, and apparently people can't last more than 20 minutes in there before going insane or whatever. And people were like people with kids were like, oh yeah, I'd love to get in there for 20 minutes, you know, just a bit of peace and quiet. I was like, if you've got kids, peace and quiet means, like, if it's like dead silence, you can't hear kids at all, that means they're up to something. Always. That always means they're doing something they shouldn't be doing. And also, if I didn't hear noise and all I could, apparently it's so quiet, you can hear the blood rush past your ears, you can hear your heartbeat, you can hear your organs. I can't imagine anything worse than that. Like, and like hearing the heartbeat and all of that, I think I'd probably end up having an anxiety attack. I don't think I like all those noises. Because like I said, when it's too quiet, that's my brain, it just starts rushing and racing, and like, it just doesn't shut up. So I need some noise around me all the time. I can't just be in silence. It's really, really difficult. Let's see. So yeah, I'll get my results back Monday. I'll be here Wednesday and talk through those. Hopefully it will say something. The thing is, I don't know what B12 levels they're doing, because like I said before, the B12 that they do all the time says the total B12, and the total B12, like last time I had it done, was like 300 and something, and it should be between just under 200 to 800 and something. So it's actually on the fairly kind of low end of normal. But that's providing there's a lot of active B12 in there, because if there's not, it's a really crap reading if that's the case. So what I'm trying to say is, it can give a false idea that everything's fine because your reading's blah blah. Yeah, it's within normal range. No, that's not the active B12. That's all of the B12, including inactive. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll come back with something. It'll either rule out or confirm things. So that's never a bad thing. Because then at least it crosses something else off the list. and it's like, right, well, that avenue's been exhausted, we can move on to this one now. So yeah. Another thing that keeps happening is when I stand up sometimes. It was happening the other day. I'd had like this major migraine because what had happened was on Sunday just gone, I was on the phone for like a couple of hours with a relative, nearly a couple of hours, and when I'm on the phone I lose track of what I'm drinking, because ordinarily I'll log when I have something to drink. So like, say, I know a cup of tea is around 200 mils, it's probably closest to 250, but I put it at 200. So and like a glass of water is about 300 mils. So, well, my glasses anyway, the amount I fill it up to. So what I normally log what I'm eating and drinking every day, and I ended up, whilst I was on the phone, losing track. I just completely forgot to keep track, and I think I drank too much. I got off the phone at about sort of 1:30 in the afternoon, and I had a banging headache, and then it ended up developing into a migraine, and I had to go upstairs. I had to draw the curtains, all the lights off. I still had the fan on, but I turned it down so it wasn't as loud. And oh god, it was so painful. My head was just so painful, and I was moody with it. So I thought, I'm just going to lie upstairs for a while. And I thought, you know what? I think I've drunk too much. I think it's an overhydration headache, because I've done that probably 3 times before, and I recognised it as being that. So I thought, right, well, there's no way I can stay downstairs for 3 or 4 hours and not drink anything. I won't be able to do it. So I just stayed in my room, just drifted in and out of sleep for 3 to 4 hours, and just tried to kill time as well, just lying there. After sort of an hour and a half, I thought, what if it's the salt? What if the salt's depleted so much because I've drunk so much, and that's what's giving the headache? So, but to get the salts back in order, you need an electrolyte drink. But I've drunk too much, so I can't have the electrolyte drink. So I can't replenish the lost salt. So what I ended up doing was going downstairs, having, like, I don't know if you know the Jacob's cream crackers. I had a couple of those buttered, and then I just had some like mature cheese, cheddar, sliced and put in there, and a little bit of salsa. Don't know why I had the salsa on there, but I just thought, well, cheese is kind of contains a fair amount of salt, so I'll just have that for now. Had that. Didn't really make any difference, and so after 4 hours of being up in my room, I ended up feeling a little bit better, actually. Like, the headache wasn't nearly as bad. It's probably about a quarter of what it was like hours before. It's a lot better. So then what I ended up doing was making up my flask, which is about 750 mils. I ended up making that up with an electrolyte drink, and I just slowly drank that, and had maybe about 1 or 2 cups of tea on top of that before bed, like for the last, from that sort of 4 p.m, 5 p.m, right through to sort of 9 p.m. I just had that 1 electrolyte drink and 2 cups of tea, and that set me right. So yeah, I felt a lot better after that. But I've got to be careful about overhydrating, because it does hurt. It really hurts. It just gives you like a really massive full frontal headache. It's unlike anything I've had before. It's a terrible headache. But at least I figured out what it was and knew not to drink anything for hours, to try and help it a little bit. Yeah. So I'll try not to make that mistake again. Although it's difficult, because when you're on the phone, you're drinking more because you're talking. So you feel thirstier. So I could be on the phone an hour and have 4 drinks, whereas if I wasn't on the phone, I would have had half that. So if I was on the phone for just under 2 hours, I could have had anything up to like sort of 6, 7, 8 drinks, and then not 8, I'd say probably 6 or 7 probably, and that's probably why I felt so rough. So I've just got to be careful, mindful not to do that again. because that was bad. And then when I did that, every time I stood up, I ended up having like, apparently it's called seeing stars, but I don't see them as stars. I see it as sort of like floating glitter everywhere in my line of vision. But yeah, apparently that's called seeing stars, so I never knew that. But yeah, so I think it kind of caused that as well. And then once I felt a little bit better, the star thing went away, the headache went away, and yeah, I just felt a lot better once I'd replenished the salts and wasn't as... That's the thing, because I drink a lot like that, but I felt dehydrated because I hadn't drunk anything for 4 hours. Because, you know, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Right, well anyhow, I am going to get a move on for now, because I really do need to try to get some sleep. I know it's a bit late in the day, but they do say if you're going to nap, the latest nap should be before 4, and it's 7 minutes to 4, so I figure if I get into bed for 4 o'clock, I can kind of get away with that. Yeah, hopefully that will work. So yeah, I will see you guys here Wednesday next week, around the same time, sort of 4ish. But then saying that, it does take like an hour to upload or something. So yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on that. So like, comment, subscribe, even though I'm no fun at the moment. And I will try my best to get back to everybody. Until then, take care, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye for now.